Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be kind of like the last stream where I was like kind of talking about the Octane Master Course, getting everything kind of explained about how it works and how everything goes. Now, some things have happened since the last stream. One of the biggest things that has happened is the Octane Master Course has changed systems a little bit. I'm no longer on the Gumroad platform, and it's no longer available for purchase on the Gumroad platform. So what I'm doing instead is I moved over to a much better platform called Podia. Now, this is something you may not have heard of before, but it is a platform designed for courses. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my store. This is my website right here, epicjcreations.com. If you're interested in checking that out, I will have that in the description of this video. And before I forget, I'm actually going to hop into my store right now, and I'm going to actually fix the description of this video because this is actually incorrect. I'm going to log out of my account here too so you guys can see what it would be like if you were just starting out for the very first time. So I'm going to go ahead and take this store address and pump that into that spot down there, and that will make things a lot nicer for you guys so you can actually see the correct address. And I also need to change the description of this video, but I'll get that fixed up in a bit. But the point is I've moved over to a new platform, and this is it right here. This is the front of my store, and currently I only have one product on here, and that is the Octane Master Course. So if we go ahead and click View Product, this will go ahead and start showing what it's about. So I highly recommend clicking the link in the description of the video. I'm going to go ahead and post it in chat now too. For you guys, so you can click that. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrect. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Glad to have you here. But what we're doing now is, Emery, is I'm showing you guys the Octane Master Course's new platform. It was on Gumroad, but I've moved it over because this is going to be a much better, 1000% better user experience. The old Gumroad platform was a mess. It wasn't designed for courses. It wasn't meant for that at all. So this is designed for it. So if you go down, you can read a little bit about the course. If you go to this site, we have some early bird pricing in effect. So it's $50 off until August 17th right here. So we have 2 days left for this mega deal that's going on. After you join, you will get an email asking you if you'd like to join the Octane Master Course Discord server. Now, I want to point out, joining the Octane Discord server is not required. It's only a benefit that if you want to join it and have some live support and kind of meet the community and just have fun talking about the course and just Octane in general, it's a great community to join, which I'll provide live support for. But if you're not into that, that is 100% okay. When you get the link, just simply don't click it, and you don't have to join it if you don't want to. The link that you're going to get is going to always be good, though. So if you ever want to join, click that link, and that'll get you right into the course. So next up, let's go ahead and introduce you guys to the course. Let's do a little bit of an introduction. So what I'm going to do is we have Octane Master Course Introduction. So basically, the Octane Master Course is the first fully comprehensive series of video tutorials for Octane Render in Cinema 4D. It's meant for all skill levels and will cover everything you've ever wanted to know about Octane and how it interacts with Cinema 4D. This course will also continue to evolve and update as Octane and Cinema 4D change over the years. So this is just like a quick little reading I did off of our little introduction here. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little run through. We're going to go ahead and watch this video, and this is what I want to point out too. This is going to give you a sample of the kind of platform that the videos are going to be under. It's under a very nice platform. Now, it's low res now because it's the little window. But I have some controls. I have play and pause with the video player, which is really nice, which is to be expected. Hopefully it would have that. You can scrub through the video here, and there we go. It's updating to higher quality. So you can scrub through just by left-clicking and dragging. You can also change the volume here as well, so you can scrub this up and down. And on top of this, if I click the little settings cog right here, I have options for quality, which is great, and a feature that has been heavily requested by a lot of people, and that is speed. You can control the speed at which you watch it. This is a big thing for a lot of people. You can watch it at up to 2 times speed, so this is just like YouTube. You have full control over that. So if you want to watch it half speed for some reason, you can, and if you want to listen to it at 2 times speed, you can have that course go twice as fast, so you can learn that whole video in half the time. So let's just get a little sample of that. Before it. Now, say you're an advanced user, then dive right into the 9. And you can see that, yes, that is going a lot quicker. For me, I typically like to watch videos at the regular pace, but if you want to speed it up, you totally have that option. And again, you can always maximize or minimize the screen by selecting this here. And overall, it's a really sleek and easy to use player that I feel just so much better than the Gumroad one. Not to mention, before we watch the introduction, I do want to mention a little bit. If you go down, I do have some testimonials from some of the members that have attended this course. Right now, I just have one testimonial, but I'm going to be updating more, so you can go ahead and feel free to read them. This is actual, true testimonials from people who've purchased the course. They have not been paid or anything. This is something that they've said on their own free will, and I asked them if it'd be okay. Since they said some really nice stuff, I told them I really appreciate that. I asked them if it'd be okay if I could put this up here. So that is what this testimonial section is for. And now, this is a big one, examples of my work. And this area basically here is where it describes. You're probably wondering if I know enough about Octane Render to be even teaching a course on it. For that question, I like to let my work answer that. So if you click this button here, it'll take you to a new page. This will take you to my actual website that shows examples of my work. And I have a special new window here called the Octane Master Course. And in this section, this is specifically catered renders that I've done that show specific topics that the Octane Master Course is going to be talking about. So like here are renders I've made throughout my life in Octane Render. Though these renders are not something you will learn to make exactly, so that's a big thing to understand. These are not exact replicas of renders you're going to be learning to make. These are just references. They represent each topic and technique you will learn. And after you finish the Octane Master course, everything you see below is something you will be able to make. So these aren't exact replicas of what we're going to be learning about to make, but each technique, each topic, each style, each parameter, and everything that's needed to make these renders is something you're going to be able to make. For example, learning how to scatter these objects using Octane Scatter, we're going to have that down. Learning how to make fog that falls off and things disappear in the distance, we're going to be learning how to do that. Everything you see in these renders is something you're going to learn how to do. Rendering this shell right here, want to have some depth of field, we're going to learn how to do that. Want to use the dirt node and just colors on it to get different details like I did for these shells, you're going to learn how to do that too. Rendering fire and smoke, you're going to know how to do that. And on top of that, you're going to learn exactly, for this particular one, we're going to be learning exactly how to make fire look just like this. This is the actual VDB files, fire sim from Turbulence FD we're going to be using in the course. And I'm also going to be adding X particle support, so we're going to be learning how to make X particles change color as time goes on, and just make things look a little bit more pretty. So the big goal with this is to teach you all these main chunks and parameters. How do I make particles change color in Octane Render with X particles? How do I use displacement? How do I have colors change in displacement? How do I morph to different types of materials? How do I do all of these different things in Octane? This is a true master course. And of course, no course in Octane is complete without talking about subsurface scattering. Now, on top of all this, Octane Render 4.0 is going to be completely and 100% supported. I promise for the next year after this course is launched to give it updates. That's all the way up until August 15th, 2019. That's over a year from now. So I'm going to be giving continuous update and support to this course for quite some time. So this is a course that what you're paying for and getting right now, which if we go up to the top, what you're paying for right now is 90 videos that add up to over 30 hours of training. That's what you get right now when you buy it. But that is not what you get in total. Throughout this next year, I'm going to be putting out a ton more content for this course. I'm going to be putting out more videos, more techniques, more different just stylized stuff, maybe just some fun things. I have a list if anybody's interested. If you scroll way down past this, we have some free tutorials too. If you're interested, you can check out my YouTube playlist, and this will give you access to all my Octane tutorials that I have out right now, so you can get some free samples of those and see if you're into that. Also, status of the Octane Master Course. This is a big one. If you check this out, I'm being completely open and 100% transparent in where this course is headed. If you check this out here, it's going to go ahead and give you access to this PDF, or not really PDF, but this Google Sheets that I have set up that I use to keep track of all the videos I plan on making and have out now. Everything that's purple that says uploaded is videos that are out right now, and everything that's black with white text saying later, this is videos that I have planned to make later on. So I have other things besides more technically oriented things. It just talks about the features and kind of how they work. I have other videos planned too, such as just making objects that take everything we've learned and pumping them into one system, such as making a realistic potion, making a realistic earth, diamond textures, etc., etc. All of these type of effects can be kind of seen here. Here's the type of diamonds I want to texture. I kind of want to show you guys how to make. I want to teach, maybe we could talk about like subsurface scattering for foods and stuff. Just a bunch of different ideas. How to make a realistic earth. You can actually make an earth that looks like this in one texture. You just drop it onto any sphere and boom, you're going to have that. That would be a really cool one I want to teach you guys. Just tons of stuff planned. And what's even more powerful is this is completely open to you guys to determine whether you want to use or not. So I have a Discord server, and in my Discord server, what's so cool is if you go to it and you actually end up joining it, we have a few members in the server already. We have a few people in here, and this is the Octane Master Course server that you're going to have access to. Now, what's great is if you go to Tutorial Vote, you actually have the choice with all these tutorials. We have bonus making a realistic potion, realistic earth, diamond texture, all these different tutorials I have planned, plus many, many more to come. You can choose to vote up, yes, you want me to spend time on this, or vote down, and no, you don't want me to spend time on this. So if you have specific tutorials that you want me to focus on, such as I don't actually have too many stuff out on X particles yet, there's a lot of people that have, so far, 3 people are voting up, they do want this, and the down vote's just me. I had to do that to create the little thing here. So you can basically vote. You could feel either way. You could downvote saying, no, I don't want you to spend time on this, or upvote, yes, I do want you to spend time on this. You have control in directing and voting where you want the course to go. But on top of all this, I also want to mention that you can preview all the videos. To be technically correct, I have 88 videos at the moment, which is going to change very soon because I have 2 X Particles videos lined up that I'll be pumping out. So we should be around 91 or 92 within the next few days. So right now it is 88 videos and 4 files. So we do have some scene files. And if you scroll down, you can actually preview the entire contents of the course already right now. So you can actually see all the different topics. We have the node topics, all the node videos, how long the node videos are, different areas. And if you see an area that says preview, you can go ahead and click that and watch the full video right now. These are videos that I've made free that you can preview without having to have account or do anything with. So it's a very nice, very handy feature that I can do that. Again, this platform is amazing. So I really want to go ahead and talk about the platform. So let's go ahead and just pick, what video could I start with? Why should you buy Octane? Let's go ahead and click preview on this. This is one of the free videos I have. If you click preview on this, this is under the basic overview area. This is going to get you a sample of the course layout. Now what's so great is everything is organized and structured. Over on the left we have our asset files, then we have the overview section, we have lighting, materials, camera, nodes, which is a huge one, advanced techniques, another big one, and within each section we have videos that are stored within each section that are about that topic. So under the camera section we have camera overview, depth of field quick tip, using motion blur, depth of field, and thin lens settings is a much more big dive into that. I might actually reorder these. Maybe I'll keep these 2 together. But I have full control to keep updating and adjusting the course after you guys join to keep expanding and changing it. So you guys have control in changing and adapting the course to what you're more into. So if you guys feel like, yeah, I wish depth of field would be kind of mixed with depth of field quick tip, they feel like they should be together, which I would agree with, I can go ahead and make those changes instantly. So in the Discord channel, if you have anything you want changed at all, feel free, let me know, and I'll definitely consider that. I can't make every change because it is a group decision, but if the majority of the group wants something done, I'm all 100% for it. But next up, what's so cool too is if we say, okay, we're under here right now, why you should buy Octane. When you click on one of the videos, it'll go ahead and hop you right into this view right here. Now at the bottom, because I'm not actually logged into the account, I'm not actually enrolled in the course, you're seeing this buy for $249 or learn more about it. Or if you're already enrolled, you can sign in to continue learning. You'll always have access to this when you buy it. That's another big thing. This course will never, ever expire. When you buy it, you have it forever. You will always have access to this. It's one payment of $249 right now, and you got all of this plus everything else coming out within this year and next year, all the way up to 2019. On August 15th is when the last updates will come out. And we're talking full Octane version 0.0 support. So if you're in this course and when Octane version 4.0 comes out, you are going to be ready because you're already going to have access to a course that's going to be coming out with updates for that. So you won't have to be looking around for Octane version 0.0 information. But let's go ahead and hit play and see what happens.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
I'm going to go ahead and mute the sound. But you can see here, same player type of setup. You left-click, drag, go through. You can use the arrow keys to skip ahead. It looks like, I think, 10 seconds. Yeah, and then you can back skip 10 seconds. So I think it's skip forward 10 and back 10. So you can kind of tap, go through. You can change your resolution. So right now it's at 720. Every video, I also want to point out, is in 1080p, 60 FPS. I was very big on making sure the quality was pretty high. I'm a little intense on keeping quality up. I notice when something's not 60 FPS. So for me, I wanted 1080p, 60 FPS, so everybody who was watching the course could feel like it was literally something they were seeing on a computer next to them, like somebody was actually there. It was high quality. The movement felt good and everything. On top of this, what's really cool is after you watch a video, let's go ahead and skip up to, say, the overview video. All the videos that you've seen once you're logged in will be crossed out. Now, you're not seeing here because we're not logged in. We don't actually have the course purchased yet. But if you do, it'll actually mark down videos you've already watched. And if there's a specific topic that you want to kind of look through in more detail, like say you're into materials and you want more information about materials in general, you can click the materials section. And what this is going to do is it's going to let you preview the entire materials section here. So you can read the full name on the video. You have info about it here. Another great thing, too, is if you go down to the node section, I have a free one on the nodes. I believe it's the Gaussian node. Gaussian, gradient, mix, multiply, subtract, planar. It's in here somewhere. It's the Gaussian. Oh, a great way to check it out. Just click the node section. I'm navigating my own course. And once we do, we can go through, and here we go. Lo and behold, the Gaussian spectrum node under previews. Let's go ahead and click preview. This is another free one. Makes it a lot easier. And then each video will have, eventually, I'm still working on upgrading it, will have a description under each video so you can go through in an organized system. There's no more PDF and organizing all that like the other course had on Gumroad. This is every information, every link that you need to click to follow along with the video is all going to be at your fingertips right down here below. Now, what's also cool is a little added bonus. There's something called a Fire Explosion VDB. This is something that you need to follow along in the course, and this is a file download that I normally charge $5 for on Gumroad, but you get access to that for free when you sign into the course. So there's going to be a link in here that you can click when you're part of the course, and you get those VDBs for free so you can follow along. Because quite honestly, I didn't want to charge you guys anymore after you've already paid $250 for this. So you get access to that for free. So you get those $5 VDBs I normally charge for is a kind of added bonus. Now let's go ahead and talk about the purchase process. What's it going to be like when you actually buy it? Let's go ahead and click Learn More. So we go back to the store. And now let's go ahead and talk about what's it going to be like when I buy. When you buy the product, you're going to go buy for $249. So just say we go ahead and click Buy. You're going to go ahead and enter in the email address you want to use. I'm just going to do test at gmail.com. So this is just a fake email I'm kind of using here. It's important that you use a real email because that is the email I'm going to be trying to contact you with to get your to email you about getting into the Discord channel. So you need to use a real email so I can actually email you and send you the link to join the Discord and stay in contact with you if you have any questions. So it is recommended you do use a real email. But then you're going to accept the terms of service and the privacy policy, and you're going to click Continue. And then here is where you're going to choose to pay. Now, if you have a coupon, you can click that and use your coupon. We don't have one in this case. And what we're going to do is we're going to do Pay with PayPal. Now, this is a big thing. You don't have to have a PayPal account, and you don't have to actually pay with PayPal money. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can just pay with a card. So you can use your card number. All of that stuff can be typed in. You can use a card, a Visa, a bank account card, anything like that. All of them work. Here's them listed down here. But if you do have a PayPal account, you can just log in and pay directly with PayPal. You don't have to do all that work of typing all this in. So you do have options. Now, once you log in, you're also going to create an account. It's going to ask you to do that. And what your account's going to be is an account with my page in general. This is not an account that's going to be held somewhere else. This is an account that's part of some other bigger ecosystem. This is a very specific account that's going to only be for this store.epicjcreations.com. So this is only going to be for my store. So you're going to log in, create an account, and whenever you want to use my course or any other products that I make and you buy that are going to be on my site, you can simply log in to this store, and you're going to have access to them 24/7, and there is mobile support. So if you're on your phone, you can watch it. If you're on your computer, you can watch it. Your tablet, you name it, you'll always have access to stream and watch and download the content that's available. Now, the videos themselves can't be downloaded. They're only streamable, but you can download the asset files, of course. So that is nice to be able to download them. On top of this, let's go ahead and see what it looks like when you actually log in. So say you were a customer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my browser over so I can log in real quick, and I'll just do that. Let's see. There we go. So now I'm going to log in. There we go. I have logged in. So now this is me logged in. So this is, say you are a customer and you're logged in and you're checking out the store. This is it right here. So you're already in the store. If I had any other products, they would be available down here, but I don't because you've already purchased this only product that I have. So when you come to my store and you're logged in and you've already made a purchase, you're going to say, okay, here it is. This is the course. Let's go ahead and click Resume Course. And you're instantly going to load into the course and you're going to have access. So I can go to this Gumroad store here with this big discount that I can log in and get that fire theme for free. And I can visit the link to join that. And here is a preview of the videos I've already seen. So I can go through and literally check out all the videos. So, and as I go through a video, say Octane plugins, or here's another one, overview of the camera imager, that has a cross through it. That is crossed out because it's a video that I've already watched. So it's going to go ahead and keep track of that for you. Now, if you view the full frame, like I say, I click lighting, it won't cross it out, so you can still read all the names. It's only over in here. Now, if you don't like this little overview kind of section here, you can always click these little 3 lines, and that will slide them away, so you can get a full screen. You don't have to worry about that. And what you can also do is if you ever want to change topics, you do have to pull that back out, though, to jump to a different topic. But what's also cool is say, okay, let's go ahead and watch the using Octane Lights, part 1. Let's go ahead and view that right now. That is a great topic, and what's really neat is at the bottom, we can go left, adjusting basic interface settings, or going to the right, using Octane Lights Part 2. So we can actually go to the next video without actually scrubbing through, okay, what topic was I on, where's the next one? You can go through in a structured order by simply clicking next after you finish it. Now, what is so great about this course is if you are not an advanced user, and you've never used Octane before, and this is your first time, you can simply start in the beginning, and every video is in a step-by-step ordered structured format, so you can follow each video, and each video will only assume you know what was taught in the videos before it. So if you're very beginning and if you're a very new beginner to Octane and you don't know where to start in the very beginning. Start with the overview, then learn about what Octane Render is, why you should buy it, then how to download it, install and set it up, then adjusting your settings, introduction to the interface, basic material overview, and I take you through Octane in a step-by-step ordered structure system so you can understand it and learn it at a very easy to learn and very decent pace. So I'm never going to rush you through this. I'm not going to overwhelm you, but I'm not going to be slow and boring either. I'm going to make sure I keep bringing new content in, and I feel pretty happy in the pace that I was able to keep. And from the people who have taken the course, they said that they don't feel overwhelmed, but they feel like they're giving just enough information that they need. So it's a really well-built system, in my opinion. I really structured this really well. And if you know all this already, though, and you're like, I already know the basics of Octane, I've had it for years, then skip through and go directly to the topic you're after. You don't have to go ahead and just sit there and watch through every video all over again. It's like, I already know about the checker node. Why would I watch a video on that? Or the dirt node. I've been using that for years. I'm an expert on it. By all means, don't watch it. Go ahead and skip through and learn the video if you're after. Now, I'd recommend still maybe checking out the dirt node because there's a lot of specific techniques and stuff I picked up over the years that Maybe there's something that I ended up bumping to that you've never heard of before. But again, that's up to you. If you feel like you have it down, you don't have to check it out. Skip to the video you're after. So if you're like, I know basically most of all this stuff, but what I'm interested in is removing these dang fireflies. How do I get them out of my scene? Go ahead and check that out. You have done a really good job. Polynorminal. Sorry if I get your name wrong. I'm really bad with names. Polynorminal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So glad that you're liking the course or liking how it looks so far. And again, too, if anybody has like any questions about the course, please definitely let me know. I'm here to answer. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have. And like if anybody's like, you're going through the course too and saying like, oh, I want to know how to render hair or rendering splines' hair or the subsurface scattering workflow. Man, I just always have so much trouble with that. Go ahead and instantly click that, and that will give you access to that. Now, in this particular topic, the names get pretty long, so you see subsurface scattering, subsurface scattering. They look like duplicates. They're actually different. They're two different workflows. So to better read this, we can see advanced techniques, and now this is an easier way of previewing this particular topic, because down here we have subsurface scattering with specular materials, and then we have subsurface scattering with diffuse materials. So two very different topics, two completely different workflows. These are workflows I've developed myself over a lot of trial and error about how to read off the different techniques, how to manage and work with subsurface scattering, the best A through Z method. So I'm going to show you guys more than just what button to push and what each button does. I'm going to show you in what order to push those buttons. What is a artistic direction that you can take with your subsurface scattering, something that'll actually make it easier to work. Don't just say, here's what all the buttons do, good luck. I'm going to say, start with this one, then complement it with this effect, then add this effect, etc., etc. Build on that. That's what I really recommend with subsurface scattering, because it can be very overwhelming and complex with Octane. So if you can learn where to start, and then what effect to add onto it, and then keep building, you can create very beautiful and gorgeous looking subsurface scattering effects without getting overwhelmed, just like with this little gumdrops here. This is something that looks very overwhelming and intense in the beginning, but if you can go through in a step-by-step system, start with the beginning, make your first adjustments, and move on and keep adding more effects on top of that, you can really get a very intense, detailed, realistic, advanced-looking subsurface scattering effect without being completely overwhelmed. And that is exactly what I teach in this section here. But again, if anybody has any questions about the course, please let me know. And again, it'll go ahead and cross out. And again, this course is constantly going to get updated. How are you going to get the updates? That might be one of your questions. When I make updates, they will just appear in the folder. The node videos will keep growing. I have more plans for node videos. The camera videos will keep growing. Everything in this course is going to be building and building, specifically the advanced techniques, because I have a lot of stuff in there. And in fact, I'm also planning on making another folder. I have using Turbulence FD. I'm actually going to separate this into X Particle and Turbulence FD folder once I get more videos out. So you're going to see stuff just automatically update. Your course is constantly going to be live, growing, and expanding thing throughout this next year. We're constantly just going to be getting more and more content into it. And it's just going to keep updating, including when Octane version 4.0 comes out. These entire videos and scenes will start to change. For example, you might be like, overneath your, say, lights. Say lighting all of a sudden changed. Oh, I got a question real quick. I use Corona Render, and I wanted to know if this course has the same workflow for 3ds Max also. That is something I'm not too sure how to answer. I've never used 3ds Max. Octane is similar in its separate plugin, so the plugin that you get for Cinema 4D and Octane, the plugin for 3ds Max, I know are similar. That said, I have seen videos. It is very different. It's definitely, the names and the parameters are the same. And the workflow technically would be the same, because Octane's still the core program and it still would run under the same system. But where those buttons are located and how to get to them would be the tricky part. That's the only thing I would say, is it would be a little hard trying to convert what was taught in here versus over there, because when I'm like, open up this material and click this button to go to the node editor, I'm very certain that the node editor button is going to be located at a very different spot in 3ds Max. But that said, the concept and the topics and the workflow principles would definitely translate over. It's just where to find the buttons that would represent those workflows would be a little bit tricky to get to. So that's the only thing I would say, Polly and Norminal. Pauline, I'll just call you Polly. I'm pretty bad with getting those names right. But that's the only thing I would say with that. So I'm not 100% sure how well it would translate over, but I think it would be worth a shot, maybe. Um, that's a very good question. That's something I'm going to have to look into more. I've had a lot of requests on somehow to translate this course over to other software, like I have Maya users that were wondering about that. So that's a very good topic to bring up. That's very important. So thank you for asking that question. I appreciate it. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, the course is constantly going to be expanding and growing and having more options and more stuff built into it. So throughout its entire time being out for this next year, all the way to August 15, 2019, you guys are going to have access to so much content. So a video I would love to show you guys is using Octane Scatter is pretty big. What we're going to watch first is we can watch the introductory video. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead back to dashboard. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to log out so we can go ahead and look at the storefront, because you can't look at the storefront, which is the tricky thing. When you're logged in and you already have the course, you can't view the course preview page like if you're going to buy it, because you already have it. And before I forget, you're probably wondering, when the course comes out and you're adding all these changes to the course, how the heck am I going to know what's happened? Well, that's a very good question, because if I'm constantly adding new content to here and updating and changing videos, because for example, say using Octane Lights Part 1, say in Octane version 4.0, they completely revamped the light system. It no longer resembles the old lighting system. It's completely new. What are we going to do with this video? I'm going to remove these videos and put in new ones. These videos themselves will get updated, along with the entire course itself getting new videos. Now you're probably wondering, well, how am I going to know if you've updated these videos? I'm going to email all the users that are subscribed to the course with an update log every time I pump out updates. Now don't worry, I'm not going to spam it. I'm not going to be pumping out one every day. It'll be on probably a weekly basis. That'll keep everything kind of more, if I have multiple videos, I'll pump them all out at once. So you guys don't have to worry about email spam. And also, in the Discord channel, I'll have an update log where you guys can keep track of all the updates, all the videos, everything that's been changed throughout the course. So you can always hop right into the new stuff right as it comes out, and you're not going to have to be digging and searching really hard to find it. But before I forget, let's go ahead and preview the introductory video. This video is available to watch on YouTube, so you can check that out. It's one of the latest videos I've posted. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a watch of it right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video. And again, if for users that just joined chat, you can control in the video player by clicking settings. You can actually adjust the speed that the video is played back at. You can do all the way up to 2 times, just like YouTube, where you can play it at half speed. So if you're somebody who wants to watch videos twice as fast, put it on 2 times and you can fly through the video and watch it a lot quicker. But just give you guys a sample of the course and what it's going to be like. I'm going to go ahead and set quality to 1080p, and I am going to go ahead and hide the little buffer that is down there. And I just realized that has been hiding the screen, so that was my bad. That was hiding that down there for you guys. But here it is. You can hit play, you can hit pause, you can scrub through the course, preview different things. You can click the little cog, adjust your quality, etc., all those changes there. So let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a try. Well, thank you for the respond, and hopefully I can buy this course next month. Well, thank you so much, Polynomial. Thank you very much. I hope you can buy it next month too. I really appreciate that. I really hope you enjoy the course, and if you do buy it, and I'm assuming you are a 3ds Max user, let me know how well the course translate over for you. And if you have problems, again, contact me in the Discord. I'll be sent, whoever buys the course will get a link to join the Octane Master Course Discord, and I'm there to help you guys. If you guys are struggling or something, or having issues, or are confused, let me know, because I'm here to help you. You guys are the customers, and I am I guess the seller, the store teacher. I don't really know how that would fit there, but I'm here to answer your guys' questions. But to go ahead and move on, let's go ahead and start this video, and I'll let you guys get a free little watch of this here. Hello and welcome to the Octane Master Course. My name's John Burdock of Epic J Creations. I'll be the one walking you through each video and answering all of your Octane Render questions. Now, whether this is your first time in Octane Render or if you've been using it for years, there'll be something in this course for everyone. So if you're just starting out and don't know where to begin, start in the beginning. Start with the first video and work your way through. All the videos are ordered and made in a structured format, so each video will help grow and expand on what you learned in the last video, and each video will also only assume you know what was taught in the videos before it. Now, say you're an advanced user, then dive right into the 90+ videos right now that are named to match the topic you're after, so you don't have to mindlessly watch and learn things you've already done hundreds of times over. Jump into that problem you've been stuck on and get it answered. So whether you're learning how to download Octane for the first time, or you've been using Octane for years and want to expand into more advanced topics, such as multipass systems, Substance Painter workflows, rendering fire and smoke with Turbulence FD, advanced texturing workflows in the node editor, or making an infinite floor that still shows reflections, caustics, and shadows, this course is for you. Another great benefit of the Octane Master Course is that even with 90 videos and over 30 hours of training, it's not done yet. I'll be adding even more videos, updates, and content that includes full Octane version 4.0 support and more, all the way up till August 15th, 2019. That's right, continuous updates for over a year after launch. On top of all this, I'll be giving live support in the Octane Master Course Discord channel. You will get to help direct me in what videos I make for the Octane Master Course by voting on which ideas you like best and which ones you want first. Now, the live support is only good for a year after the time of purchase, but you will never lose access to the Octane Master Course Discord server. You will keep that, just like the course itself, forever. So the Octane Master Course is more than just a simple set of videos that explain a few topics. It's an ever-growing and expanding plethora of Octane Render information that's shaped and directed by the ever-growing community of members. So let's start taking Octane Render in Cinema 4D to the next level. Let's master it with the Octane Master Course. Alrighty, there we go. That was that video. So that gives you guys a little bit of a taste, kind of an introduction to the course, kind of a feel for what it's going to cost, what the price is going to be, kind of how all that works, Octane Discord channel and all that. So it's going to help give you guys kind of a feel for that there. Now, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. And I got to pop my little folder back up. There we go. So if anybody has any questions about the course, pricing, you have 2 more days. What is it, the 15th? So yeah, 2 more days for the early bird pricing. That's $50 off the course. And that comes with, whether you buy an early bird or whether you buy it the full price 2 days from now, that still comes with everything. Nothing's different. It's just simply a discount off the base price because I just launched and I'm doing like an early bird pricing. So literally the course is going to come with over a year of support, like you saw there, and that includes updates for Octane version 4.0, full updates for all that. And that includes full updates for X particles, Turbulence FD, etc., all of that content there. If you guys are wondering about the quality of my work and stuff like that, click the View My Work button here. You can check out the Octane Master Course folder, which gives you examples of types of content, the process, the kind of symbol of different things that we're going to be learning to make. We're not going to be making this exactly, like we're not going to be making this exact figure here, but I'm going to teach you the techniques on how to texture hair in Octane Render. Get these type of effects here, like getting kind of like this little tiger fur pattern or something like here. Get color on hair. Use images to color hair. Change the hair length, the colors of the hair length based off the tips and the roots, and just different stuff like that. Basically, I use both Cinema and 3ds Max, but I use Forester Pack and Rails Clone a lot with this plugins and are not for Cinema, so that's why I was asking about the workflow in 3ds Max. But I love Cinema 4D. Yeah, I feel you on that. I love Cinema 4D too. I am a huge fan of Cinema 4D. But I definitely feel you there. If you have those really nice add-on packs for 3ds Max, I can definitely understand why you'd want to use them, because I know Forester is a friggin' incredible plugin. uh, you can't go wrong for that. Forest Pack, or not Forester, or actually, yeah, 3ds Max must have a different one, but those are really nice packs. Um, but yeah, I'll be teaching all these techniques with like the hair and stuff, all that styles. We're not going to be making this exact figure, but something very similar. Now with the fire, we actually are going to be making something just like that. This reference here is the same one I use to teach the course, so in the end we're going to basically have this same exact effect, and again, the same type of animation we're going to be learning to make. So for that, that is going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, but in general, that's not what these are supposed to represent. It just happens to be in this case. I just teach you the topics. Like, we're not going to be learning how to make this exact scene, but everything that makes up the scene is going to be taught. How do I scatter elements in my scene? How do I make fog where everything falls back? How do I light my scene? How do I make it look pretty, etc., etc.? All those techniques are going to be taught. Some bonus things though I'm planning on making, like making a potion like this. I want to teach you guys how to do stuff like this. I want to teach you how to make a realistic looking earth texture like that. I'm hoping to teach you guys how to make this diamond here. This is another technique I want to teach you guys. But we're going to be learning about all these techniques that make up this diamond texture. I do lightly mention this diamond topic when I'm teaching the refraction part through the specular material. So I do lightly touch on this, but not exactly. But that's something I do want to dive into more detail on. To finish this up, if anybody has any more questions, feel free to ask. But what I also want to do is I want to give you guys a free sample of another video in this course, which is not available to preview. So if you guys want to check this page out, feel free. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video, and I'm going to go ahead and post it out right now too. So you guys can click that link and check all this out yourself if you want. And you can check out all these videos for free. So every video through here that says preview, you can watch for free right now. So we have those 3 at the top. Then if you keep scrolling way down, we have another one here, the RGB spectrum. I'm pretty happy with this video. It's a really good one. You can preview that. And here's another one, how to save Octane renders quick tip. This is a big one. This one here teaches the process of saving renders correctly. So I really recommend checking this one out. Even if you don't plan on buying the course, just watch that video because that video will be so helpful. It'll teach you how to save renders from Octane properly and with the least headache. I've spent hours getting this workflow set up. So save yourself a lot of headache and watch this video, and you can save yourself a lot of troubleshooting time. So highly recommend checking this one out. And I think those are the only free ones I have listed at the moment. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to give you guys access to, or not really access, but I want you, in this stream, I'm going to go ahead and live stream a video through one of these, and I think it was the lighting section I had planned I wanted to share. Yeah, it was underneath lighting. Well, I want to donate some money, but as I'm living in Albania, I can't use YouTube, sorry. Oh, that's quite okay. That is absolutely okay. I really appreciate the offer, though, Polynormal. I really do appreciate that. That is 100% okay. I definitely understand. It's the same YouTube has those limitations. But thank you so much for thinking about it. I really appreciate it. It's the thought that counts, as they always say. But let's see, what video was it? Under lighting? Yeah, it was lighting. Using lights part 2. I have this in a 2-part series. The first one covers basic introductions to lights and stuff, but the second part, I touch on a lot of interesting techniques that I think a lot of people don't know about that are pretty dang cool. So this is what I want you guys to give a try. Since I already have an account, I'm just going to go ahead and log in with that. So so you guys can see what that's all about. There we go. Just log in, and then once I'm logged in, we're going to go ahead and watch that video. So I'm going to give you this video to watch for free. So this is a video that's not going to be made for free. So this is a video that you're only going to be able to watch right now. So it's a special bonus for the live viewers now. So this is something you're getting a free sample of the course. And this will be, what was it, under the lighting? Yeah, it was this video here. It's only 15 minutes long, so I'll go ahead and give you guys some time to go ahead and watch this. So if you want to follow along in the course, there is this little topic here that lets you download the IES files that I do use in this video. So if you click this link here, you can download the same exact IES files because I do talk about IES lights and setting them up and how to properly get them running. But without further ado, let's go ahead and give this a try. Hello. And I'm going to check my audio levels, make sure it's not too loud for you guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I don't think it is. It should be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and hide my footer so you guys can see the whole video. We're going to set this to full quality, make this full 1080p so you can get the best experience. And, yeah, here we go. Here is your free sample. Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video we're going to be learning about Octane Lights Part 2. So we've already learned about Octane Lights, and if you haven't checked out the Part 1 video, which is right before this video, I highly recommend checking that out because I'm going to assume you've already followed through and learned about all the steps I mentioned in that video. So this is going to be a Part 2, and it's going to be an expansion of what we already learned about Octane Lights. Let's go ahead and begin by creating another Octane Light. Let's go into Objects, go to Lights, do an Octane area light. Now, what I want to point out is that first, I'm coming right in here real quick. There was a question, so I want to pause the video just so I can answer it really quickly. Polynormal had a question, do you have a Patreon site? At the moment, I do not. I do not have a Patreon site. If you go to my YouTube page, though, so if you go to my website, and you go to my YouTube page, there is an option where you can, I think it's under About. No, it's not under About. Yes, it is. Or actually, it's not under About. It's right on the very front page. What am I doing? At the very front page, if you wanted, I'm not sure why you wanted to go to, or wondering about if I had a Patreon site, but if it was like you wanted to make a donation or something like that, or show support for the course, there is a I want to leave a donation button here. So if you click that, it'll take you to this little PayPal donation system I do have set up. So I don't have Patreon at the moment working, but I do have my own kind of jerry-rigged system where you can click want to leave a donation. That's just on my regular YouTube homepage. It's just like right over there in the corner, which I think if you click that, it should be working. Yep, there's me, and then you can donate whatever amount you'd like to donate. But I hope that answers that question for you. Sorry if I misunderstood what you're saying or asking. Please feel free to correct me on that. Before I forget, okay, where was I? Oh, yes, back to the video. So sorry for the hold up there. Here we go. Video is going back live again. First off, what we have in our scene here is an infinite floor object, a sphere with 60 segments, and an octane area light, which I just created now. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is assume that you've already understood all of this stuff. We've already covered basics, main, light settings, and visibility. We've already covered all this in the first part. What I want to talk about is expanded principles, such as what we can use in this Octane Light tab over here, besides simply setting our light color and letting our light over here use the current light color, which we learned that we can do that. So we do have some control still in this original light here, right, which is kind of neat. But I want to show you even more of what you can get out of the actual selecting the light actually itself instead of just running under only the light tab. So to begin, let's go ahead and disable use light color, and under our Octane Light, let's put this, or Cinema 4D light function here, let's go ahead and pull this back to pure white. And the first thing I want to talk about is if you go to the Details tab here, you can change your outer radius. This all still functions. So this is all part of the readjusting the height and the width. You can grab these little orange dots here to do it this way. But just realize all these are doing is just resizing the size X and the size Y, which can be found here. Now, fall off, angle, and all of this, and samples and such, of course, do not function because this is a C4D effect. Let's go ahead and set them back to the default. And add grain, show and render, show and specular, and reflections, and all of this stuff, and visibility multiplier, again, do not function. This is a C4D effect. Even the fall off does not work. But area shape does. And this is really cool. Right now we're set to a rectangle, but we can change this to a disk, and we will literally get our own kind of little spotlight effect here, right? We're creating, quite honestly, straight out of the box, default, a spotlight effect. Now I can always get this shape back by right-clicking here, and reverting those so the sides are now symmetrical, so it's a perfectly round light. And again, we are getting a nice round light. Instead, as if we went to rectangle, we have more of a square light in our scene. Now, we can also change this to line, which basically does not function. It will not have an effect. You can scale this up or down, but again, it's not really going to do too much for you. It's still going to render in Octane as a square light. So, disk works, rectangle works, line does not work, but sphere does. And if we select sphere, and we actually right-click all its sizes on all the axes, we can actually even it out, so it's a perfect round sphere. And this basically gives us a point light effect. This will function just as a point light would in Cinema 4D. Let's go ahead and change our path trace, our kernel from direct lighting to path tracing, so it looks a little bit more pretty. And what is incredible with this is this will literally function 100% like a point light would in Cinema 4D standalone, especially if you press T and scale it down a little bit. Now, this is something that a lot of people have been wanting to do inside Octane Render, and I only recently just found out about this. So if you've ever been tired of being stuck with just like that light where you always had to point at whatever you shine it at, and you just wanted that point light back, this is for you. You have the point light back. It's pretty dang handy. Now, I also want to point out, if you want to make this more like a point light, you can go to the Octane tags here, go to Visibility, disable Camera Visibility, and now it is literally functioning just like a point light would in C4D. You don't actually see it, but it is lighting. Again, though, this is less realistic when you're lighting your scene, but if you wanted that feature, it is available. Let's go ahead and re-enable our visibility, go back to our Octane Light, and now let's try some of the other shapes right here. Let's go ahead and do cylinder. This is literally a cylinder shape that you can get. And if we do cylinder perpendicular, this should be a sideways cylinder. This does not work in Octane Render. It's still always going to be facing upward. I recommend simply doing a regular cylinder, pressing R, and rotating it if you'd like it to be sideways. A little bit more straightforward that way anyway. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move this around a little bit so it updates in Octane. Next up, let's go ahead and try the cube. The cube is an option. You'll have a literal block as a light. That's definitely an interesting option. Also, you can go ahead and select hemisphere. And hemisphere does not function. It'll basically give you a default square cubic light. So, or not cubic, rectangle light. It'll give you the same rectangular light setup. So hemisphere does not work, and object spline does not work. You normally with Cinema 4D could load in an object to be your light, but you do not do that with Octane. You actually use a material that you apply to the object to have it generate light, which we talk about in a video that's coming right up. So get ready. We're going to be talking about that in another video. Let's go ahead and set this back to disk right now, because now I want to go into more detail on using IES files with your lights. We talked about this a little bit in the last video, but now we're going to expand on that in more detail. Now, if you would like to have your own IES files, right? Because IES files are a special file format that basically have the lights distribute the light rays out in a form that is more realistic to true light bulbs in real life. Now, they have a whole bunch of different IES files, and you can get them from a really great website, which I'll show you in the little pop-up that's popping up on the bottom left corner of the screen. So go ahead and check that link out, because that'll give you access to download these IES lights right here. And there's a whole ton of them, and they're all free. Now, here's a little blackboard that kind of shows all the different IES lights that come with this setup, and there's a ton of them, all 38 of them. And you can see each one has a different shining pattern. My favorite one particularly is this spotlight type pattern from O2. Now, to use this light, all we have to do is find the light that we want. We want 23 here, and this is the one here. Or sorry, not 23. We want O2, and this is O2 right here. This is the IES file, and this is the image that represents that file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to select this whole directory, Control-C to copy it. And then what we're going to do is select our light, go to Light Settings, and under Distribution, just like we learned in the other video, we're going to go to C4D Octane, and we're going to grab an image texture. We're going to go into that image texture. I'm going to open up our directory search, paste in this directory so I can get there quickly, and select the O2 IES light. And lo and behold, we now have that spotlight effect. Now, I want to point out a problem, though, that we bumped into in the last video, and that is if I rotate my light won't rotate. It's always projecting downward. Well, luckily, we can fix this. All we have to do is go into our image texture, change our channel format first off from half to float. This will make it a 32-bit. Now, I haven't talked too much about the image texture node yet and what these channel formats mean, but I will lightly mention for you now, all this means is like what bit depth the image will be in. Auto will auto-detect it, which usually doesn't work too well. Unit 8 represents 8-bit, half represents 16, and float represents 32. If you don't understand what bit depth is, go ahead and check out the video on the image texture node, because I explain that more detail there. But now that we have this set, I'm going to select projection, just like we did in the previous video. And now, if I twirl down projection, we're going to change this to spherical, and it is going to disappear for a moment. This is because I need to take the Z direction, do -90. Now, you'll notice that we still don't see anything in our scene right now. This is because we need to take our X rotation and put this to 90. And when we do that, we'll rotate it so it's now aiming downward. And now what's interesting is if we go ahead and make sure our position is set to object space instead of world, by default it's going to be set to world. And when you rotate in world space, it's basically going to just rotate around the light and not work. If I go ahead and put this back to a value of, say, 0 again, rotating it around will basically ruin it. So it's it's always going to be pointing downward, and that's a problem for us. We want it to be an actual object space. So let's go ahead and switch this back to, object space, set our rotation to 90 on X, and now wherever I rotate my light, it will point for us. So that is super cool. We have a legit point light. And what's so nice is that if I pull this down really close, it keeps that round kind of spotlight, point light type feel. Whereas if I use my Octane light and I set this to a rectangle, it's gonna get a rectangle type look because we don't have an actual round base, which is quite honestly kind of a bummer on that. Now, we can't actually see into the light unless we turn it a certain way. And this is simply because we are actually distributing the light. It's actually got its own separate kind of environment inside there, which is really kind of weird. We're getting like this kind of portal effect looking into there. But this type of distribution, if that was a word, distributing environment basically is projecting this light in through here to create a new light. And this image here is what's representing the distribution of this light, which shines out and gives it that effect. So this is really cool. We can see we have a lot of options. And again, if I set this light to be a disk, we really do kind of bring this effect out and create it quite nicely. Now, what's cool too is I can also go into here, go into my image texture, and let's go ahead and load in a different IES light. There's this really cool one. I think it was 09. And you can see here we get another IES effect, and we're creating, like, we get all these different light patterns. So you have a lot of options. Now, what I want to point out is if you switch to a spherical light, it will work, which is kind of surprising. But there is a drawback. You're not going to get light from the whole thing like it's a point light because we have limited to shine only, which is only downward from our projection in the way our object is facing. So it's going to basically behave still basically kind of like a spotlight and only shine that direction regardless of what type of light we have. I could do a rectangle, I could do a disc, I could do a cube. A cube's going to kind of mess it up because it's going to change the projection from multiple angles. So a cube will kind of ruin it for you, as you can see. And object spline doesn't work, and cylinder may work. Cylinder kind of ruins it too. So again, recommend keeping this to a disc or a rectangle to get this IES light effect to work properly for you. But at this point, this video is basically done. There's really not too much more to it. I will go ahead and mention with our circular light, we can go ahead and change the aspect ratio of it, which will help scale this here. And we also have a global size parameter, which you can adjust here. The aspect ratio I usually don't recommend adjusting. You can just simply adjust these points here. And contrast will have no effect, as you'd guess. And shadow caster, again, has no effect because that is a C4D effect. But at this point, I also want to mention too, Z direction only doesn't work either. If you want to have it be double-sided or not be double-sided, but before I forget, again, we can go into here. We can check on double-sided, and if you do this, it will not work because you have an IES light turned on. Now, because the IES light is in, it's only going to be projecting light in this direction. It's not going to be projecting it from behind because remember, our distribution and our projection setup is set to project light in this direction. We can't do double-sided in this case unless we remove our light distribution, and then lo and behold, we have double-sided lighting. So just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. But at this point, this video is basically done. I'm going to end it with a very light recap of what we just learned. In this video, we learned about more information on how to use Octane lights, as this was a second half of a two-part video. The first video, we talked about basic light controls under here, and in the second half, that was this video, we focused more on using the actual controls in the Octane light here, the actual C4D light, instead of the actual tag. And under here, we learned that we can actually change our area shape, such as rectangle, disc, cube was another functioning one, and cylinder. These are all really powerful. Now, we learned that if we do disc, we can actually get a really cool spotlight effect out of this if we go ahead and load in an IES file under distribution. And we also learned that for distributing our lights, it's best to do a C4D Octane, then do an image texture, which should be in here somewhere, image texture, and we learned that we need to use something called an IES file, or we could load anything we wanted in here to kind of help distribute the light, but we learned that IES files are particularly handy because they help create realistic lighting effects based off of like real light bulbs. And again, we learned that you can download all these IES files from the free link that's popping up down here again. We learned that if we import these IES files in, we set them to projection, which projects the light. It's a different projection form, which again, if we don't understand projection too well right now, that's okay because I'm going to be learning about it in the projection node video. And we'll set our texture projection to spherical, like we're mapping kind of like a spherical light bulb. And then we learned that if we take our position and set it to object space instead of world, because if it's world space, the light won't actually rotate. The projection won't actually rotate with the light, and we'll actually lose it, and it'll only face downward, so that's not good. And we have to make sure X is rotated on positive 90. And then we can literally use this round light to create a spotlight to point anywhere. And this just works in any scene and basically anywhere in Octane Render. And we can, again, position this. We can scale it up. We can stretch it and distort it, get some unique kinds of shapes out of this, and do all kinds of other cool effects. But at this point, this video is basically done. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you found this helpful. And I hope that you really found especially the area shape thing pretty helpful. Because for me, having the spherical light is pretty dang cool, especially as if we disable our distribution under that tag there. To have a fully functional light like this for me, a point light back used to the Cinema 4D light, is really nice. Like, I think it's super cool. A lot of people have been wanting something like this, I feel like. So I am really stoked and happy to have this feature figured out, to have a literal point light this easy just to grab and start using. So I really hope that you find this helpful, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next video. Alrighty, there we go. That was the free sample. And Bidapon Doel, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining the stream. And Polynormal, yes, I wanted to donate. Thanks. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you so much for leaving the donation. I really do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. So thank you so much. I didn't actually check my email to see how much you donated yet, but thank you so much. I'm not sure how much it was, but whatever it was, I really do appreciate it. If anybody else has any questions, please feel free to ask. To make sure I hide the little stream overview there. There we go. Now it's set up and nice. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to let me know. Again, this course is going to continue to grow and expand all the way up for the next year. More videos are going to be added. If you're interested in checking out what those videos are, I'm going to go ahead and log out of our dashboard from this account, and then we can go ahead and check the course out again. And if anybody has any questions, go ahead and view the course and what you can do. And don't forget to sign up too. You can sign up for Epic Info, I'm calling it, which is basically my email newsletter. So if any new things or new products come out, or anybody has any questions, you can do that. You can definitely sign up for that. But if you want to see where the course is headed and what it has now, an easy breakdown of just the status of the Octane course, go ahead and click the Google Sheet, and this will give you access to that. Congrats. Your own website looks pretty nice. Thank you. Thank you, Bidapon. I really appreciate that. It's been a pretty awesome thing. Does Octane make good God rays? And what about caustics? Are they heavy to render? Octane can do decent God rays, and it's not as good as some other programs. Like, I will admit that if you want very distinct God ray effects, I think Redshift does it pretty good, but that is the big thing. But Octane Render version 0.4 is coming out, and it is going to be friggin' awesome. They have intensely improved God rays. Now for caustics, the second question was caustics. Octane does beautiful caustics. It does really nice caustics, and I think I have a video on that, or I know I do. It's in here somewhere. But that's part of the specular material, and I think cleaning up renders. I forget where it was, but I have a whole area in here about caustics. So definitely under the advanced topic, rendering splines, volumes, somewhere in here, alpha channels. That's a great video. How to save, that's another good one. Removing fireflies, advanced settings. Somewhere in here I talk about, I think it was, yeah, how to rendering with an alpha channel, or one of these in here. Oh, it was removing fireflies. That was a great one. But caustics in general, I mean, I teach the basics of them underneath the materials. So if you go to the specular material section, here it is, this one here, the specular material. That is when you're mostly going to notice caustics, because caustics is an effect where light is shining through some type of liquid or clear glass, and that light is then refracted or bounced around, kind of like a magnifying glass, making it like a hot point on the ground. That Octane does so good. Like, literally, there's no setting you have to turn on. Like, literally, turn on path tracing and put a light in your scene, and your transparent objects will just have caustics shining through. Now, you do have trouble, though, with them looking noisy and grainy and dirty and getting them to clean up, and they can be a little slow to render. But that said, after you check out the spectral material video, that's just basics setting that up. But if you want to make your renders render faster and look cleaner, then totally recommend the removing fireflies video, because that talks about cleaning everything up: caustics, noise, shadows, you name it. I talk about cleaning all of that stuff up. So that cleans things up very, very nicely. So highly recommend that if you have any questions. But that said, if you have questions for the other one was volumetric lighting, I also talk about that, and that's in this advanced tech section here too. Fog and volumetric lights with Octane environment. And then using fog and VDB volumes. But this, fog and volumetric lights with the Octane environment, this is a big one. I talk about all those God rays, that volumetric lighting effect. I talk about how to do that with lights with an environment, and I talk about how to do that with like fog. So I talk about like setting up like a kind of foggy environment and the using fog and VDB volume. So that's a cool one. And this one here, this is more just like a literal VDB volume of fog, but this one here shows actually how to make fog in volumetric lights. So if you make like a big fog volume that covers your whole scene, where you actually have like fog that looks like this right here, you're going to get volumetric lighting for free in this. It just happens. Octane's very realistic, and as you have fog and all this stuff going on, you're automatically going to get volumetric lighting. But sometimes you don't want to have fog. You just want to see the lights. And that I also teach in that video. I also go ahead and talk about how to just have the lights themselves project images of light and stuff. Aren't God rays also called volumetric lighting? I'm pretty much new to these things. Oh, yep, that's exactly true, bit upon. God rays and volumetric lighting are exactly the same thing. All God rays really are is just simply light that you can see because there's some dust particles or something in the air. And in Octane, that's usually referred to as volumetric lighting, but they also call it God rays too. So both of those things mean the same thing. But that's a very good question. That was very confusing for me when I first started out. God rays, volumetric lighting, what do they mean? What do they do? But they both are exactly the same, and they both mean the same thing. So I do talk about that, and I have a really, if you're interested, actually, guys, I have a video out on my YouTube channel right now that talks about that in really good detail, which actually you can check it out right now if you go to my course page and you go up to the area where it's where was it? Free tutorial samples. If you click on this, I give you a taste of it, a little taste. At the very top of the list is how to project an image with lights in Octane Render. This video, this was a really cool technique I figured out, and it's friggin' awesome. This shows you how to take a light, and the topic of this video is mostly on taking a light and projecting an image. Now, I teach this in the course as well, like see later on in here. Was about a few minutes in, we see here's an image that I'm projecting onto my wall with light. Now, it's a literal image being projected on, which I show here in a minute, where I slide a cube in front of it or something here. Oh, or actually, I'm skipping ahead too far, but I actually end up, you can see, actually showing you how to make this become a volumetric light. So we're literally building a 100% physically accurate projector. We're literally projecting this image from our light onto our wall, and then we're using a VDB, or not a VBV volume, we're using an Octane Sky environment to actually create volumetric light out of this that only shows up on the light. And it's a really cool video. I'm not going to ramble on too much about it, but I really recommend checking it out. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel. It's a really cool effect, so I highly recommend you check this out. This same process and technique is going to be shown in the course. So if you have the course, you can just watch that, or you can watch a YouTube video. It's like a free sample of some stuff. But it's a really great resource. So definitely check that out. And in the course under lighting, I'm pretty certain, oh, I actually explained this really well in the course. I have a really good video on it underneath lighting. Here it is. Using Tune Light, using Octane Daylight, Texture Light, using HDRI, using HDRI and Object on. Using objects as lights with materials, that's a great one. Using daylight objects together. Using textures with lights, this is a great one. This talks about just the bare bones concept of taking a texture and emitting light with it. So you're literally taking a light and projecting that texture onto something with light. So that's really cool. That's a great video. Great concept kind of taught in there. That's a really great stuff, all lighting related. Now the volumetric part is a much more advanced topic, and that doesn't come in till down here. So what you literally do is you just learn how to project that light, and then you can, down here later on, we learn about how to actually apply volumetrics. So in this tutorial itself, this was more me kind of, or where did that video go? Somewhere in here. That was more, oh, here it is. This was more of me taking a simpler concept, projecting an image with light, and then adding volumetrics. So this kind of sums it all up in like 15 minutes, whereas in the course, I kind of break that down a little bit more because I didn't want to overwhelm new users. I want to just talk about we can project a light, we learn how to do that, and then later on we learn how to add this volumetric kind of effect here. Because in this video, I will admit, I kind of just threw this on at the end in this tutorial. I go in a lot more detail on this. So my course is something that is anything but under detailed. I am somebody who kind of goes off on a little bit of rants and detail on some things sometimes. I'm a very thorough person, so I like to make sure every feature is covered and talked about. Now, I tried very hard in the course to make sure I didn't go over the top in the beginning, but in the advanced topics area, I definitely, I just definitely kind of went a little, I just opened up and just said, okay, we're learning about this, so here's how this works, and I talk about everything. So there is not a button that is usually left untalked about. I make sure every parameter and control is mentioned because for me, there's nothing worse than going through a course or a video about something that says it's going to teach you about it, and then it leaves big holes in it in a bunch of areas. Like you're going through here, and it says, okay, we're supposed to be talking about the Octane settings panel, and we don't learn about what the alpha channel button does. And I'll be like, even though it might seem self-explanatory to some people, for me, I was kind of like, well, kind of really wish I would have know how this affects my render. Like, what is all this stuff? So, like, if we're supposed to be learning about this panel, I want to learn about it, especially if it's in an advanced section. So I made sure under the advanced section, when we're diving in through this stuff, that I talk about what the video is supposed to be talking about. I make sure that you get answers to your questions. And of course, if there is, because nobody's perfect, and I'm sure there's some spots where I messed up and did miss a few topics in there here. If you have a question about any parameter at any time, and if for some reason it's not listed in the course, contact me on the Discord. You have 100% access to that at all the time when you purchase the course, and I will give you, I'll help you through it. I'll help you figure that out if you bump into anything, and I'll make some changes and quick reviews to help get that fixed for you. So I'll make changes and update the videos to affect that accordingly after I've gotten your problem resolved, of course. And one thing I will point out is the live technical support is good for only 1 year after purchase. Now, that does not expire on August 15, 2018. That expires on 1 year from the date of purchase. I'll continuously give updates till August 15th, 2019, but your live support does not expire. That expires exactly 12 months after the date of purchase. You're going to keep that. So say August 14th, you buy that. The Octane Master Course, you're going to get live support in the Octane Discord all the way up to August 14th, 2020. So you definitely get a whole full year of that. And on top of that, once your year is up for the live support, you do not get kicked out of the Octane Master Course Discord. That doesn't happen at all. You simply lose the live support. So I'll have a special channel in the Octane Master Courses, the live support channel, where I'll constantly help and give feedback on different things that people are struggling on. But after that, you still have access to all the other channels. You still have access to vote on what's different videos and stuff, and just different things there. Now, there's not going to be much voting going on after a year from now because there's not going to be as much content being put out for it because I'm only committing up to the 15th. I'm probably going to still add a few things here and there just because I like things to look polished and finished, especially if there's some bugs I end up bumping into in some of the videos. Yeah, that's about it. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I think I've covered about everything the course has offered. And again, if you have any questions about what's up next too, you can check out the Octane outline here. Talks of the videos are coming next. How to install. These are older videos. I need to organize this over here. This node video section here, this is going to talk about all the nodes and stuff. A bunch of them are already out. There's a few of them I missed. A big thing I want to point out is all the nodes and how they're ordered are just like they are in Octane, the Octane node editor. So at the top, we have the Octane material node, then comes the mixed material, etc., and we work our way through. So if you're actually looking at the course right now, this in the node section is structured exactly as it would be in Octane. So nodes, first one up is this introduction, but then some node editor quick tips and stuff. But then once we actually start getting into the nodes, they're structured and ordered exactly like they would be found in Cinema 4D. So first up is node editor settings, which is a quick tip, then your layout, but then comes the material node, then comes the mixed material, image texture, RGB spectrum, etc. It go through and follow through this proper order that you would have with these textures right here. So we have them all divided up. We have the materials first. They're just incorrect in matching order like that. And of course, you can always check it out. You can always watch this and see I have this little preview here set up just like it would be in Octane. And you can see the completion date and its position. So the RGB spectrum should be right underneath the image texture on here. And let's go ahead and check it out. Is it? So if we go to nodes, we have our image texture, and lo and behold, right underneath it, we have our RGB spectrum, and then next should be the Gaussian spectrum, which it is, and we can actually watch that video for free. So if you guys haven't checked it out, feel free to check this video out. I'm very happy with this video. It turned out really good. It's free to watch, so I'm not going to preview it here in the course because there's no point. You guys can watch it for free now anyway. But at this point, we're at an hour and 15 minutes into the stream. So if we have any more questions, feel free to ask them now. If not, I'll probably be hopping off till the next stream. So again, if anybody has any questions whatsoever, please definitely let me know. But looks like everybody is doing pretty good. That's a good thing on my part. That means I've explained this pretty well. There's not too much I can think of that I haven't talked about yet. I think everything's basically been explained. The only thing I will mention is that good night, sir. Thank you so much, Bitapon. I appreciate that. Good night to you too. I hope you. I know it's really late where you're at, so I hope you have a good night's sleep. And testimonials. If you want a testimonial, see one of the members who took the course. Check this out. This was a really nice thing that this person wrote up, and it really was a very nice description of how I intended the course. Like when I read this, I felt like I nailed it because everything this person said here is what I was after when I was making the course. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. So I felt really happy when I read this. There again, we also have the early bird pricing, and after you join the course, please check your email and make sure you sign up with a legit email, because that email is where I'm going to send you the invite to join the Octane Discord server. So I will send to that email address that you sign up with an email to join the Discord server. So make sure you do use a real email and you check it for that email, because it comes in within easily 12 or 24 hours. I'm usually very quick in sending those emails. An early bird pricing. This is up for the next 2 days. That's $50 off. So that's a pretty big chunk off the course. Normally it's $299, so now it's $249. So you save $50 if you buy it within the next 2 days, because that's when it's going to expire. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys found this stream helpful. I hope that the information in the course was interesting to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you found it helpful and educational. But thank you all again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys all later. So I'm going to end the stream. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Till next time. Now I got to find my button to click. Here we go. There we go. Stop streaming. Well, again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all.